Hello, my name is Aryan. I am the director in marketing at NDB Motors. I'm glad to be speaking to you today about a prospective marketing plan that I've created for our upcoming vehicle, the Brawny 2022. Um, about this vehicle, it is a vehicle that has had a rough past. It wasn't exactly the safest vehicle on the roads. It was large, it was heavy, and it was unsafe, which all these reasons were ultimately why we had to discontinue it. However, we have upgraded our vehicle, we've upgraded our stance, and now we are ready to unroll a brand new vehicle. This is the marketing plan for it. So, firstly, I'm going to be identifying three key ideas and then discussing a five-step plan. Firstly, three key ideas. The first being target market. Now, our target market is going to be people who are millennials because they're the most likely to buy electric vehicles, and they are people who live in cities, people that are very conscious about the environment. Millennials are often also new parents, which is why I think that this would especially be a greater buy for them. Now, similarities and differences between our target market. Now, the similarities is that we still have people in America that like big cars. This has always been the case, and it has historically been the case. It is why cars like the Jeep Wrangler, the Grand Cherokee, and the Hummer are widely purchased in America relative to other countries around the world. It's because in America, people like bigger cars. It's just a psychological thing. Differences, however, lie in the differences in our product. The differences in our product is that they're safer and environmentally friendly because they're EV. What this allows us is to sell to different people within the market. And by market, I mean people that are available to buy our car. Because it's safer, we can sell this to parents and possibly new drivers, but because it's an SUV, might be a little scary to drive, I'm going to stick to parents. Um, then we have EV, which means we're electric vehicle, which means we can better cater towards the environmentally conscious market. Now, finally, I'll be discussing marketing strategies. Marketing strategies allow us to better cater to our customers' wants and needs. We can figure out what they are and we can deliver it to them. Now, what this involves us to do is we can allow test drives. And what this allows us to do is we can show the customer our car. And I think a special thing that we can do that most companies haven't already done is we can tell one of our own members at the car dealership to drive our car to the client's house. The client hops in the car, gets in the steering wheel, and drives it around their neighborhood so they can get a real feel of what it's like to drive a Brawny. And what this allows them to do is instead of going to some random part of the state in which there's one dealership and driving in a place they don't know, they're driving around their neighborhood, seeing their neighbors' houses, and this is what it will be like. They know this is what it's going to be like if I own a Brawny. So they're going to have a better idea of what it is that they want, and they'll have a more likely chance to buy from us if we can match what it is that they want. Secondly, we need to make sure that we advertise on the correct channels. For example, on SiriusXM, Spotify, Amazon.com, Nature Journals, and New Parent Journals. These are all places that our target markets linger in. This is places that they read, and this is places that we will get the highest effective viewership. And by effective viewership, I don't mean people that see us, I mean people that we want to see us, our target market. Finally, discounts, special deals, offers, and incentives to buy our vehicle always give us a great boost in terms of sales. We want people to have the greatest value in the things that they buy. So what we could do is every now and then we could offer discounts for maybe military members, 5% discount on Memorial Week. New drivers get a 1% or 2% discount. New parents get a 5% discount, and so on and so forth. We can create more and more deals like this as we go on. Depending on our profit margin, we can edit the size of these deals. Now, finally, moving on to the five-step plan that I've created. First, I'll be giving you a slight roadmap of it. First step, explain the nature of market planning. Second step, explain the concept of market and market identification. Third step, explain the concept of marketing strategies. Fourth step, develop positioning and develop a positioning concept for a new idea. Finally, the fifth step is describe the role of customer voice in branding. Now, to begin. The first step, explain the nature of market planning. Now, this involves three smaller steps, lots of steps here. The first step is to identify the target market, which we've already done. It's millennials, people who are environmentally conscious, and primarily new parents and not new drivers. Now, this involves us also factoring in three things that people love to factor in when they buy a new car: ownership costs, safety, and functionality. Now, our functionality lies in the fact that it's electric, and electric cars are now getting better and better and have a greater scope of improvement as compared to their mechanical counterparts. So that's something that we can improve on and that we need to work on going into the future. That we're already pretty strong in because we don't need oil changes, we don't need those checkups as frequently. Safety, because we've already worked on safety, we already have a strong standpoint, and our main goal now should be showing the customers that we are truly safe to drive, much safer than we were 10 years ago. Finally, or also ownership costs. Ownership costs are important for people buying a car because we aren't premium pricing here. We are selling to the general public. So price is a large thing, especially something that I would love to factor in when buying a new vehicle. So that's something that we also need to think about when selling our vehicle. Three is to deliver wants and needs. By wants and needs, I mean the ideas that people want. Where can we? The ideas that people want are that they're electric, they're safe, and they're large. These are all things that people want to hear and want in a car, especially in the United States, which is where we are currently setting up base in. And we could advertise these places in nature journals because nature journals are where people that are environmentally friendly stay. New parent guides, mass marketing because cars are something that almost everyone will drive one day. We can also have grand openings at local dealerships, which will allow a more in touch and a live viewership of the vehicle. Now, moving on to the next step in the plan, explain the concept of market and market identification. Now, the market is the people and the sellers. Now, since we're the sellers, the general public is our market, and that's who we need to worry about right now, potential customers. Now, how do people identify us in the market? Now, people most likely to buy from us based on their wants and needs. If someone wants a safe car, they're most likely a parent, and we can cater to that need. If people want a big car, many Americans do, we have big cars. We sell big cars, the Brawny. So that's something that we can cater to people's wants, and that's why we have a strong standing in the market right now. Third step is explain the concept of marketing strategies. Now, marketing strategies are primarily used to give ourselves a stronger position in a competitive marketplace. Now, we need to identify the audience and identify their wants and needs and advertise our strengths in a way that match their wants and needs. For example, if we find out the most common thing that people want out of their vehicles is size, we need to really drive the nail in that we're the largest car out there. And that's how we can strategically market ourselves to get the greatest audience that wants to buy our car. That's just one way. We'd have to change our ways based on the different things that people want in a car. Now, fourth step, develop positioning concept for a new idea. Now, positioning is the public's opinion on our product and their perspective. Now, what I wanted to do is something that I learned in my psychology class called associative learning. Now, by associating two items with each other, when someone views one item, they associate the other to go along with it. How can we use this? One, a deep voice in our advertisements exhibits strength, exhibits size. And if we have this next to our cars, people see our cars and they think this is big and strong. If we have Smokey the Bear next to us, when people think of our cars, they think Smokey the Bear. Oh, they're environmentally very conscious, which are two things that we'd love to drive in. Finally, describe the role of customers in branding. Now, customers are very important to us because they're obviously the people that we sell to. So we want to be able to sell them the best thing that we can. And no one knows better what the customers want than the customers. So we have to listen to them and figure out what it is that they want and how we can properly cater to them. And that's how we can change our brand going on in the future, by changing our brand to adapt to their wants and needs. Now, the three other questions that you've asked me, I'll read the rest of now. What are some of the risks associated with this car? Now, obviously, we can get caught up in our past, and we can get caught up in how our old car didn't do very well. Why should we trust you now? Obviously, you should trust us because we've changed ourselves completely, and we've remodeled in such a way that we've created a better vehicle. Secondly, how and when do we notify NDB dealerships? We should identify and notify them as soon as we can. Thank you for listening and have a great evening.